Just want to make sure it's working. So just a couple of announcements. We do have interpretation in Spanish. However, the PowerPoint, it's not translated. We are having that presentation in Spanish on Monday at 5:30. So if you want to see the PowerPoint in Spanish, you are welcome to join the meeting on Monday. But we do have Irene in the other line doing interpretation for Spanish. Also, the first part of the meeting is going to be, we're going to do a presentation. After we do the presentation, you will have the opportunity to make comments. And so I do want to welcome all the stakeholders that are here with us. And I'm going to let the director, Tony Anderson, start us.
Oh, start us off. Hello, everybody. Let's see, can you hear me okay? All right. Well, let me see. I get this closer. Welcome, everybody, to the meeting. All of you that are in the room today. How many are there? 15, 90? All right. There are 50 in the Zoom, and there's at least that in the room, right? We're trying to invite people back into the building. So we have a few people here, but this is our first go at it when we're doing hybrid. So welcome. I hope the experience for people on Zoom is good. We're trying to figure that out so that we can meet in person with all these folks here. And then also at the same time, your experience at home or wherever you are is good, and that you are able to hear and participate whenever we are able to open up for public comment. So let us know as we go, well, maybe afterwards, how that was for you, because we want to make sure it's a good experience for everybody in the house and outside. So today, this is our first. Am I going to go too fast for the interpreting?
Oh, well, for
so
Irene, Irene is going to tell you.
All right. This is our first meeting for the year. We've had a couple of pre-meetings with some smaller focus groups, and we'll inform you of how some of that went as well. And the reason we have these meetings, I think we'll cover that more in the PowerPoint, but just it's our chance over each year to let you know sort of how we're doing in terms of the expenditures and sort of making sure that we're providing services and serving our community in an equitable manner. So we look at that each year publicly, but of course every day or every week we're looking at different measures. So this is our chance to hear from you as well about your experience. And of course, diversity means so many different things to so many different people. We don't look at a lot of ethnic diversity, but think of your own experiences and your own, your own thoughts about what diversity is to you. And if you feel you're from a group that's not represented, it would be good to hear from you as well. So I'm really looking forward to today's meeting and with all of you in the room today. I joke because there's not a lot in the meeting in the room today. I shouldn't really make you think that there's a ton of people there. But there will be at some, maybe Monday. So we'll just jump right in. The main thing, I'm going to share the information with you. We have a PowerPoint. And then the main thing, of course, is to hear from you and your experience working with the regional center. So we'll get to that part. That'll be the public comment. And we'll show your video while you talk for the people in the room to see as well. So when we get to that part, then we'll go to each one of you and ask you raise your hand. I think is what we'll do, and then we'll go to you. You can speak or wait, whatever works, and then we'll take you off of the mute and you can talk. So you want to start us off? All right. You got a clicker too, huh?
I do. If I can ask you, if you can just write your name on the chat room, so we know who attended the meeting. So today's presentation is the purchase of services, and is to present to you guys how BMRC serves its community. And we are going to be covering information from the fiscal year 2020, 2021.
Oh,
No, it's not.
huh? Someone's writing on it.
I didn't, it's not, okay. So somebody's writing on it.
Huh. So
So I'm gonna go ahead and start while they,
we're working on the caption.
yeah, they're working on the caption. So I'm gonna go ahead and start. So what does the regional center have to do with, why do we have to present this information? So we have to present this information because it's a requirement from the Lanterman Act. It's also a requirement that all regional centers report the data on the purchase of services, authorizations, utilizations, and expenditures. And basically what all the regional centers have to do is present one public meeting. What is a disparity? A disparity implies a difference. So as you can see on the balance, we have two balances and one has, it's leaning more towards the side. What is equity? Being fair, impartial, based on needs. And what is the goal? The goal is to reduce the disparities and increase equity. The purpose of the meeting today is to present the money from the fiscal year 2020, 2021 and how it was utilized. Indicate data categorized by age, ethnicity, language, diagnosed, residents, and various types of, and various services types. We're going to review the authorization, the actual consumer expenditures and utilization, rates based on certain keys, characteristics, and multiple fiscal years. Provide the data in a manner to better analyze the information and identify potential barriers to equitable access to services and support. And we're also going to talk about identifying best practice to reduce those disparities. This picture just shows you the 3 offices locations that we have. Our office in San Andreas, the office in Stockton, and our office in Modesto. BMRC is one of the 21 regional centers. BMRC does serve 4.5 of all the regional center population in California, and we cover 5 counties. We are a nonprofit agency operating with state funds and federal funds. Who we are, well, BMRC serves approximately 18,401 individuals. We serve residents who live in the San Joaquin, Stanislaus, Amador, Calaveras, and Tuolumne counties. And like I said before, we have one office in Stockton, one in Modesto, and one in San Andreas. I can see just a picture. The following pie graph that I'm going to show you is the total individuals that we serve based on diagnosis. So as you can see, the autism forms the largest. I'm sorry, actually intellectual disability is our largest population, followed by autism. And then we have other, which is 27%. The total expenditures by ethnicity or race. So what this is going to show you is the what we spent on the total authorization for consumers based on their ethnicity. So we have our largest being white with 46%, followed by the Hispanics with 26%. And then we have other ethnicity with, I'm sorry. Then we have Black and African American with 7%, Asian, it's a small number, so we have 0%, Filipino 10%, Native American 0%, and Polynesian 0%. This is the expenditures. This graph what's going to show you is the expenditures per by primary language. And so as you can see, what it shows here is during the last 3 years, how the expenditures actually has been increasing. With the English from 13,429 from 1920 to last year 14,079. Spanish 7,973 from fiscal year 1920 to last year fiscal year 2021 8,755. And then we have the other. And the other category is, it's hard to know who the other are. We're still trying to find out.
That's all the languages.
So it's all the languages. Total annual expenditures authorized services per capita by ethnicity or race. And so if you see the total number of individuals is the blue column. And then if you see the orange, that's the total we spend per consumer. So as you can see, we've seen an increase in all the ethnicities. And this is consumers with no purchases of services by ethnicity and race, 2020-21. And this is consumers that didn't have a service. And we have it here with percent. So we have Polynesian 30%, white 50%, Asian 60%, Black African American 50%, Filipino 20%, Hispanic 90%, and Native American 50%.
You're reading the point. There's a number before that. 19.5% is the Caucasians.
Oh, sorry.
You're just reading the second part.
Yes, so I'm sorry, I did made a mistake. So it is white 19.50%, Asian 21.60%, Black African American 19.5%, Filipino 25.2%, Hispanic 16.9%, Native American 14.5%. This is consumers with no purchases versus consumers with receiving purchases for last year. So the column on blue, that's the number of consumers who didn't have a purchase. And the column on orange, that's the consumers who did have a purchase on 2020-2021. So as you can see, also we see an increase and the two largest groups that we have, which is the Hispanic and the white, we did see an increase. So what does this mean? The areas of accessibility to services include respite, family support, behavior services, and early start services. Areas of services with disparities include residential services, day programs, transportation, behavioral management, non-family homes, and supportive living services. Age appears to be a significant factor on the expenditures. So what is VMRC doing to address the disparities? We continue to probe for the answers by analyzing the data, offering solutions. We continue to support the cultural specialists to continue collaborating with families and individuals that we serve. We also continue collaborating with parent groups to bring accessible training through their preferred language. Consumers and families will continue to receive cultural and linguistic competent information, such as in their IPP, their IFS on the IFSP on their preferred language. Develop diversity, and we have developed a diversity, equity, and inclusion committee to further identify barriers and eliminate bias. We continue to offer bilingual stipends for our staff trainings focusing on cultural competence, knowledge of services. We provide translation, equipment, any equipment needed, and training for interpreters in the process. Person-centered planning, invested in training and all the staff and develop board certificate trainers to serve our consumers and our families. We also have our health advisory that provides current information to the community. We do have it in English and Spanish. Developing information to public services announcement in various languages in the lobby area. When the public access our offices, we have monitors where they are going to be able to see information, upcoming events. Community outreach efforts. We're hoping to have again this year the cultural fair, informational campaigns. We had a couple COVID testing events, increased consumer contact with the ever-rich messaging in preferred language. So we do started to send messages via phone. So this year, one of the things that we did, we met with a couple focus groups to try and get some feedback from the groups. And so some of the groups that are helping us, with the disparities are, we have parent groups and we also have our community stakeholders. So parent groups, we've been working very hard with the Integrated Community Collaborative Group, ICC. We also collaborate with the parent group Hear My Voice and Families First. And what they do, they provide support to our families during their IPP meetings through the process of accessing genetic resources. They provide training for parents in their preferred language. And they collaborate during outreach and some of the events that we had. Some of our community stakeholders, such as Family Resource Network, Congreso Familiar, UC Davis Health, SAC6, DRC, Autism Society of Los Angeles, provided training for our families and our clients of the regional center, provide resources with technology. So we have like Congreso Familiar, if families don't have technology, they're able to provide those access to technology. We collaborate during outreach events. They're always helping us when we have outreach. They also have independent facilitators, mentor trainings. And so, as I mentioned before, one of the things that we did different this year, the director, Tony Anderson, and I met with a couple of focus groups. We actually had 4 meetings. We met with Hear My Voice, Escucha Mi Voz on March 1st, and they had 12 participants. We also met with SAC6 on March 4th, and they had 39 participants. Familias First, on March 7th, we had 4 participants, and we met with ICC, the Integrated Community Collaborative, on March 18th, and they had 23 participants. And some of the feedback that we got from the groups is some of the things that they said they saw that were some of the barriers or some of the things that they felt that we could help is, for example, with vendors. On our rural areas, they don't have enough services. They don't have services at all. They said to have better quality of vendors, reach out to other regions. One of the suggestions they gave was to reach out to other regional centers to get information about their providers and try to recruit them to provide services in our area. With case management, some of the feedback we got was we need more bilingual service coordinators. Lack of information on services available for families, or do not share any information on events, meetings that BMRC has. More trainings for service coordinators. Provide a contact list of who they can call if the service coordinator is not getting back to them. Return calls on a timely manner. Services coordinators might have to have more empathy towards families. Provide services based on needs, not opinion. Provide surveys to evaluate the meetings with service coordinators. We also got feedback on our website. Some families said that the website should be easier to navigate. They also felt that the health advisory, that a lot of the Hispanics are underrepresented. Services, we did get feedback that the services be approved based on the area where families live and make exceptions since some of the areas do not have genetic resources. So we got this from families who live in the like in the mountains, Calavera, Sonora. They have to travel to other places to get the genetic resources, and it's sometimes it's a long distance. Parents should not have to return every 3 months to ask for extended services. Every service coordinator should provide a list of services available to the families. Service coordinators should follow up with service coordinators should follow up on services offered during IPPs to make sure that the family is accessing the service and asking why is it that they haven't accessed the services that they were offered during the IPP meeting. One of the things that we also heard is when it comes to reimbursement, some of the families don't have the money to pay for reimbursement when we do social and recreational, and if they do, it takes a while to get the money back. They want to learn more about social and recreational services from the service coordinators. Some of the families are finding out through other parents. And one of the major concerns is that as the child gets older, the harder it gets for a lot of families to find services in the community. For interpreters, we need more interpreters, have more training for the interpreters. Interpreters should be certified. And I know, Tony, were you gonna cover the data?
Oh, I don't know if we want to go further.
Okay.
Maybe we're going to keep
Stop the share.
start up with other comments.
Okay.
That's a lot of.
Mhm.
What we're trying to pay close attention to this year is to not bombard you with too much data. Because again, what's important is that we hear from you and your experience. And so we won't hit you with too much, but if you have any questions, we're going to have plenty of opportunities to get to data and share if we want to go there. But again, we want to get to what your experiences are, and because what this is about is trying to make sure that we're providing services equitably and we're meeting the needs that are ever changing for our community. So let's maybe we just start to hear from the public. And what we'll do is we have a table up here for any public comments. Any of you in the room want to give any public comment? We have a table up here. We'll switch the computer around so those of you on Zoom can see the person talking. And then we'll start to get people that are on Zoom, and maybe I don't know how we'll do it. Raise your hand virtually or physically, and Doug will find you, and then he'll unmute you so that you can provide testimony. So let's start off with the room. Anybody in the room, and we can refer back to any of the other slides if you need to, but anybody in the room like to give some testimony? Anybody, any of you guys in the back over there? No, you guys? Nope. All right, so I don't see any more hands in the room. So let's go to the Zoom.
Tony?
Yes, sir, Jonathan.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Good, good. I hope the data, the information that Gabby shared made sense. And what are some of your thoughts?
Well, I just had a quick question for you guys. Let's say like a consumer or something gets like an apartment somewhere. What kind of services will you be helping with that consumer that gets an apartment somewhere?
So
Anywhere.
this consumer is getting services in their own, they get their own apartment, and what else can they get help with, is your question.
Yeah, what
Right.
else? What kind of services can they get?
Well, all kinds, Jonathan. They might, if they want to get a job, they might want to get some help with a job coach. Maybe they want to go to a day program. They could do that. And if they need help in their own home, if it's their own home, they need some help there, maybe occasional, maybe some independent living. So make sure all your bills are paid, or get along with a landlord, or any of those kind of business needs that you might have. Maybe that, or maybe even more, like supported living services. So which would be, it's of course person-centered. So you and your service coordinator and your team, you get together and you talk about all your needs, and then your team plans out the kinds of services that might be there for you. And some of them might be things that the regional center pays for, and some of them are going to be things that are in the community that everybody has access to. We want to make sure that you have free access to them as well, like anybody else. So we don't want you to be denied any access to community services. So your service coordinator may be helping you in some way to make sure that you have equal access to your community. So that could be a variety of things. If you are not getting along with your landlord, maybe there's some tenant rights services. We don't pay for that, but we would help you get to those services in your community. And if it's hard for you, we'll help you. So we'll help you access the things in your community. That's just an example of some of the things that you could do when you're living in your own apartment. So
Thanks, Tony, for answering my question. I really appreciate it.
you are welcome.
Robert Valderrama and then Cassandra Gomez.
Robert Valderrama. Oh boy.
Hold on. I don't know what's going on here. Hold on.
Oh, I see you. I see you loud and clear.
Okay. My question is, first of all, I've worked with the Mexican, Latino community before. I used to work with Cesar Chavez and the United Farm Workers, and I used to work with the farm workers. And my question is, back in the day when I was working with Cesar, it was difficult to get Latino families to get involved into because of it could be because of immigration, or they were just afraid to get involved. How difficult was how difficult was it to get Latino families involved?
Oh, good question. And before I forget, don't forget next Thursday is Cesar Chavez Day.
Okay.
Don't forget that, Robert. That's a good question, Robert. It's difficult to get a lot of different people involved, but in particular, as our population evolves around us in our area, we're experiencing more and more population is Hispanic, and so it's a growing part of our population, and it is, we're spending a lot of time trying to figure out the best way to get to that part of our community and get the information to them in a way that will will sort of get this, will be interesting to them, and that they'll want to engage with us. So sometimes it's language. Not all Hispanic people, of course, speak Spanish, but many do. And so sometimes making sure that we're not always doing things in English. And so that's what we always have done for such a long, long time. It's a sort of a paradigm shift, right, Robert? Where we've got
well,
ourselves to think and act and communicate in a way that's more inclusive. So it's
one
not
of,
just
one of the,
them,
big-
right? It's us as well. Us as well. We try to change and speak and communicate and write in different ways that will be more effective, or just different.
one of the biggest issues with the Latino community is trust. I found that to be true when I was working with Cesar Chavez and the farm workers, and I believe it's still true today. Trust is a big issue.
It is, and it's not something you just get, right? You've got to earn it and continue to earn it with one another. All the
They've got
time.
to.
It's
You've got
you're
to
right.
earn their. You've got to earn their trust, and in most cases, it's a very slow process.
You're right. You're right, and that we've got time, and but we want to make sure we're putting our energies in the right places, and that we're reaching out in a way that's respectful. And we're going to make mistakes along the way, Robert, but we're going to keep trying, and that's what we're.
I want to say to you, sometimes I have speaking problems speaking in Spanish, but I'm willing to help you in anything that you need me for.
Oh, that is great. Thank you. I really appreciate that, Robert. All right, make a note of that. Robert is willing to do free work.
Writing his name down.
Cassandra Gomez.
Sandra Gomez.
Can you hear me?
I can hear Cassandra.
Hi, my name is Cassandra Gomez, and I got the flyer in the mail about tonight's meeting, and I'm a mother with 3 children, work full time, and I just felt it was really important to kind of set aside this time to talk with you guys. So my now 3-year-old, he's aged out of the program, but when he was 2, he was participating with VMRC, and we were receiving services for speech therapy and also other child development. So we had a speech therapist that was we were meeting with over Zoom weekly, and then we had another teacher actually able to come to our house twice a month. And I really have to say that those services were just completely priceless. I was very unaware that this program had existed until it was brought to my attention, and I'm very thankful because I feel like my 3-year-old is very advanced now because we really put in the time and the effort with him. I do want to definitely back, I guess, support what the previous presentation slide had said from results of the focus group. I would definitely say that the service coordinators could definitely receive more training because they're the ones that are really representing VMRC, and they're the cheerleaders. And I would say when we first started the program, I was really unaware of what journey we were going to take. So I think it would be really helpful for parents that have their young children going through the services to understand what exactly is going to happen and what it's going to entail. Because I honestly thought we were going to get services once a week for speech therapy, and my child was going to just all of a sudden start learning to talk. Until probably the 3rd session, I was like, oh wait, I need to do a lot of work for my child to no, you have to teach me as the parent what to do for my child the other 6 days of the week. And I don't think that parents understand the commitment that they need to make to help their child, because they need to do a lot of repetition to the child. They have to be consistent. And just kind of getting close with the speech therapist, they would say things like, or not just the speech therapist, but also our teacher, they'd say, yeah, we'll like come to a family's home and I'll work with the child one-on-one, and the mom's like in the kitchen, like reading the magazine. And I just think that that's really unfortunate that this great program has clients that aren't understanding that their involvement is really going to be the determination on how successful their children are going to be. So I think it would be really, really important maybe if there would be also some type of, I mean, we're so busy as parents already, but just some type of introductory session on like, okay, this is what's going to happen. And these are the expectations of you as the parent on helping your child succeed. Because we were basically, I felt like the service coordinator, she was nice, but I felt like she said, okay, you're going to do X, Y, and Z and bye. And I was like, oh, okay, like what's X, Y, and Z mean? But it didn't seem like we had that time to ask those important questions. But really, I'm just so grateful for where my son Gabriel is now at 3, and he wouldn't have been there if it weren't for VMRC. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you. Christine. You get that. Okay. Hola, welcome guys. You have anybody else with their hands up? Any other questions on the Zoom? Comments on the Zoom?
I don't have anything else in the box.
Oh, you don't see anything? Oh, we have more people in the room. I'm glad you guys were able to find a spot. And we got one, Colin. Go to Colin.
Colin McDonald, raise his hand.
Can I talk?
Yeah.
Hello,
You're
Hi.
to hear you.
I'm Colin McDonald's mom.
Hello.
Colin has been a consumer of VMRC since he was 3 years old. He's now almost 22. So we've had a lot of years with VMRC. We graduated high school. We got our driver's license. He's higher functioning, but he needs a help with staying on focus, different things like that, has depression. We got signed up with the Department of Rehabilitation with our service coordinator just prior to 2020, and then the COVID hit and everything kind of fell apart. Didn't get a lot of phone calls, and we didn't stress out too much because of COVID and the pandemic. But we're getting ready for our IPP, and the Department of Rehab representatives never call us. I've got an almost 22-year-old son sitting at home, nothing to do, should be trained with employment. I mean, he needs help, but he's an otherwise pretty viable young man. And he's prone to depression because I feel like we're in this transitional state. He talks about getting his own apartment and moving on. And I feel like, again, this has come up again, where the service coordinator not giving us a lot of things to help us move forward in his life. And we're kind of in this lull, and it's bothering him because he needs to grow and he's not growing as a young man. And I'm sure a lot of parents are in this place where, what do we do with all these young, healthy men that have developmental disabilities, but are otherwise brilliant and smart and need help to work? I need some advice on where should we go? Should we go to the service coordinator? Should we go to the Department of Rehab? Should we get another employment helper? Can you give me some advice on how VMRC can help us move forward?
Sure, thank you for that. And one thing I would say is definitely the service coordinator. That is your main contact here. And if for whatever reason you're not able to get response, then there's they have a manager, they're the program managers, and they have a lot of experience And they're able to help through any moments where they're stuck. There could be a whole series of other issues. I have no idea what the circumstances are, but that person is the one that really helps us. Our program managers here, we are so grateful to the great work that they do. They are so knowledgeable, and they help in any of these times where a lot of our service coordinators might get stuck, or even maybe somebody might be on leave, but maybe you're not aware of. I actually have no idea what's happening, but that is the way to go. First, your service coordinator and their program manager. But in addition to that, as you bring up employment, and that's really an important area. We don't want to see Colin just hanging out at home and not being able to advance and live his whole life. You don't want to be not able to move forward. And so we have a guy here named EJ, and his job is the employment specialist, and he focuses all on employment. Just his main goal here is to help people with disabilities get jobs, and he supports the service coordinators where he can, and he works with the schools and the chambers of commerce and the business community as well, trying to get them to open up jobs for our consumers, and also just sort of helping people understand the rules of employment. So I would say, I don't know how to get EJ's contact to focus, but you could put it on the chat or something, or to Colin. EJ is definitely another great resource for you here at the regional center. So, and he's very familiar with the Department of Rehab. He's a partner with them, works with them constantly. That's what we have in place. Not that any of that is easy, and that will just the snap of the finger will change everything. But that is, I'll tell you what, he is reporting all the time. Every time I talk to him, I ask him about how we doing? Are we getting more people jobs? And that is starting to pick up. There have been new incentives put in place too for Colin, and that are brand new. Maybe not a lot of people know about them all yet. So, and we're constantly trying to get that information out too. So we have incentives for businesses to hire people with disabilities. So EJ is the one. I think I just saw the chat information in the chat. EJ is in there. I really encourage you to check that out. Colin's mom. I don't remember. I heard your name, but we'll just refer to you as Colin's mom until I remember. But that would be the route. So, and I really hope you connect with him, and that you're and with your service board. There are a lot of new things that we're working on, and we don't want that experience that Colin's having right now to be. We don't want that happening. So definitely connect with us on that. Is anybody in the room? I know you guys are kind of on the spot here. But what we're doing is public comment now, and you missed the first part. Do we have interpreters? Is anything?
No.
Oh, okay. Everybody's good. Okay. So we covered a bunch of data. I think she was singing and she was dancing. Gabby was, and showing people about the statistics on where we're spending money on the different groups. And so, but right now we're wanting to hear from anybody, and any of you are welcome to give public comment and on just what your experience has been, and maybe ideas of how we can be more welcoming and meeting the needs of all parts of our community. Would you like to give one? Oh, could you go to the front table
I'd rather not.
so they can see you? We want these guys to see you.
I can make my voice be heard.
All right, all right.
I'm just curious that during the COVID.
Can you guys on the computer here?
During the COVID thing, I find that we are not connecting with service coordinators I had an experience where I called different people here and didn't hear back.
Mhm.
And then I already know that my daughter, who is the client, she has not had her IPP meeting or anything. And so I like to know what's going on. Is there a lack in services or?
Um, Did everybody on the computer here? Somebody gone? Anybody gone? Did you hear the comment? Otherwise, I'll. Nobody is nodding. Anybody nodding? Did you hear it? Nobody's nodding. I don't think anybody heard it. All right, the comment, can you hear me? Jonathan, can you hear me? No, if you can hear me. Okay, you can. Okay, so the question basically is there something going on? People are not connecting with their service coordinators like they were before, and then that her meeting, her IVP meeting hasn't happened, it's past due.
Past due,
Yeah,
should
past
have
due,
happened
so
in
she's-
January,
Should happen in January. Okay.
should have.
Okay. And can we get your name too, or we can follow up? But who knows? There could be a lot of different things happening. But one thing I do want to mention that is happening to try to address this is that we, during the pandemic, it was challenging for everybody on the communication side, but we also then reached out to people and connected with everybody. With people that weren't even like service coordinators, just everybody that worked for us, we just sort of needed to find out how everybody was doing in our community. So we did that a few times throughout there and tracked it. It was a huge workload, heavy workload, but they did continue to do that. That was important for all of us to try to stay connected because we were also not seeing each other as much. But I will say that we also have had our share of turnover in the last couple of years during this time because some people felt they didn't sign up for this kind of a job, right? It was completely different. You get trained as a social worker, you're speaking social, connecting people. That was hard for some people. So we did have our share of turnover that way. So we have a lot of brand new people who you would believe we have a lot of people who haven't done any face-to-face meetings yet in their job. And they've been there maybe a couple of years. So that will be something that will evolve more and more because we're starting to do that now. And the good news though that I wanted to tell you is that we are looking at a major hiring initiative that the state has put a major commitment in place to get service coordinators. So our ratios are very high. So they're around 80 to 90, and some of them have 100. And so what we'll do is we'll be able to push that down significantly. And we're talking about in the neighborhood of maybe 40 plus service coordinators. It's a lot for us. And especially we employ about 400 people. So it's a major commitment. We will have more and we'll have a lot of training to do. But the good news is that we'll be able to spend more time with our consumers and families that they intend to. But we definitely got your information because just because it's hard and we're overwhelmed doesn't mean that's not the excuse. That's not the answer. Thank you. Irene, do you have anybody in your room that is wanting to ask a question? No, she doesn't.
There's someone named BMRC.
Someone named BMRC on the phone and they'd like to talk.
He's asking, he's making comments in the chat box, but I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. You want to see the checkbox?
You want me to unmute him?
Let's see the checkbox. Is that what you're thinking?
I think we should unmute him and ask him.
Oh, okay.
He said something about the eye.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
We
unmute.
see him, he's looking in the camera, hello. Yep, what's that? What was that?
Recording, if the session is being recorded. I think.
Well, can you check that last chat?
Yeah, are we moving on from VMRC or?
Oh, I don't know.
I have a question.
There he goes. Yes, sir.
I was wondering, like, with all the P&I money that we get from our social worker, that I would like to have a very special thank you for all the hard work you guys do out there.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Can we get your name? If you don't mind, can we get your name?
Yeah, I'm here.
It's up to you, but can you tell us your name?
Christine, can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Yeah,
Can anybody hear me?
we can hear you. We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, the thing I'm asking is like with all the money we get from VMRC and the money that we don't get, how much is like if we wanted to live on our own?
So the question is, how much would it cost you to live on your own? And that's a good question. And that will vary. So there are different ways to do it. On your own, meaning all by yourself, or on your own with a roommate, on your own with more than one roommate. There are different ways to live on your own, right? And so each, if you have more people, then there's it costs you less. If it's just on your own by yourself, there's a variety of things. There's the rent. How much is rent? Rent is, average rent is for a studio, 1,000? That's for a studio?
Oh, yeah.
Is there anything like 600? For studio? Oh, you're gonna need a roommate. If you're only on the other side, but there's other ways. So anyway, it's very expensive. I think
Well, the thing is,
that can't be the final. There are plenty of people who are able to do it, and probably with the same amount of money you have. So let's figure that out. Let's get your, you know, the service coordinator? What's your name?
Christine, can you remind me your name so I can?
that's the thing that I try to do. I try to go for a walk or something, do something on the computer or go to my day program, but I don't like day programs and stuff.
Okay. Well, that's fair.
Never been having a lot of problems.
Can you do me a favor? Can you give us your name? And we can follow up with you. Okay. What's your name again?
I was just finding out about I was talking to Anna about the money situation. Now, how much can we get out of our P&I money?
I don't know. We'll have to talk to, what's your name so we can follow up on, you know, your service coordinator?
Right. I tried to call her today, but she didn't answer.
Oh, what's her name?
Anna Mendoza?
Okay. All right, we'll follow up then.
Yeah, she's the lady that comes down and sees me, like around my annual.
Okay, very good. Very good, thank you.
We have Manette.
Annette? Manette,
Hello.
She said hello.
we can
Hi.
hear you. We can hear you, Manette.
I just wanted to say, I do SAC 6,
And I love seeing you on SAC 6, Tony.
Thank you. I
And
love being on the meeting.
Ashley, he could talk to his caseworker. You can do a Section 8. You can enter in the Section 8 lottery, but your caseworker has to send you the link so you can go and fill out the application for the Section
Yeah.
8 lottery.
Thank you, and that's a really good point. And just saw something
Because
today for the- I don't know what county you're in, but
I applied for it and
you did?
yeah, I'm waiting for I think they said it's 3,000 people on the list
On the list, yeah, that
for
they
the
added,
Section
right?
8.
I think they added three more slots. Yeah, you're right. And is it still open or is it closed? Does anybody know? Anybody? They closed it? Okay. But that's for only one county, so there are other counties. That have the same.
Yeah.
Thank you, Manette. That's a really good point.
And anyway, how do you apply if you want to be on like the board?
On the board of directors for Valley Mountain Regional Center?
Yeah, or for SAC 6?
Uh-huh. Anybody in the room know about how to apply to be on the board of directors?
Yeah.
Would you like to say, would you like to? I almost got her, the board president's in the room. So I'm glad you asked that question because the nominating committee, the board of directors, just started. We're just gonna have their first meeting in a couple of weeks. So they're gonna be putting out notice of interest to people and see who might be wanting to be on the board or even be on one of our committees. That's another good way to start to find out if you want to be on the board or not. So being on the board is one, and then being on the board committees is another way to start getting familiar with how it goes. So we'll get you that information, Manette. And then SAC 6, anybody know about SAC 6 application?
Yeah, SAC 6 will call her.
SAC 6 will call you, Manette. We just
Okay.
heard it in the back of the room.
Okay.
Thank you. Anybody else?
There's a guy named Rodriguez.
Right.
Ask the question.
Rodriguez? Okay. Rodriguez. All right, we're asking.
Hi.
Oh,
I'm
there
on
we
the
go.
Hi.
All right.
So my question is that none of my guys are in day program, and in order to retain staff, I had to up their income. However, a lot of day programs already opened except for the ones these guys attend. And I was hoping that we can continue the POS for the 1658. Is that a possibility? Is it in the works? Where does that stand?
The 1650, what is 1658?
Is it a health and safety waiver?
Are you talking about a health and safety waiver right now? Or what's the 1658? So everybody. I mean, I know,
It's not the health and safety waiver, but maybe it is. It was for the COVID.
yeah. So it sounds like you're talking about people that you serve in your home were not able to go to the day program, and so you were providing extra services during that time because you had a lot more shifts to cover, right?
I'm sorry, the guys are here talking at me, so what was that?
So I'm just trying to understand exactly which one you're talking about. So this is when, because of, people weren't able to go to the day program yet, folks aren't able to go there yet, in some cases. And then, so then you did more shifts, so you did more work to cover the time that they were in your home.
Yes, and also I also had to increase their pay so that they would stay in
Gotcha.
at the home.
Yeah, because of COVID. Yeah, that process is different now than it was before, but it still does occur. There's still a health and safety process. And then, so you would connect with resource development, and that would be Robert Fernandez.
What's the name of our home?
And what's the name of your home?
Sublime,
Sublime?
yeah,
All right, I like that name.
not the rock group.
Oh, not the rocket? Okay, we will, we'll follow up. But we, right now that it is still in place, it's just a lot different process than it was originally.
Okay,
And we don't, we're not authorizing it, so the department now has to do that. Sort of out of our hands. But we do help you through that application process.
okay. I was just wondering because, excuse me, sir, we are hurting, so that's it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Eric is. Here we
Hello,
go.
hello. This is Eric's mom. My name is Raquel, and
Raquel.
Eric, hello.
Hello, Raquel.
Eric is 26, and so he might be wanting to go out on his own and become more independent. He lives with us now. And so Minette's comment was really good on the Section 8 lottery regarding availability for apartments in different counties. And so just to clarify her comment, the 3,000 people, is that a waiting list that she was talking about?
Yes, what they did was they opened it up for 3,000 more slots, and then once they filled them, then they shut it down. And that was for San Joaquin County.
San Joaquin. Okay, we're in Calaveras County, so
Calaveras County, okay. We don't know for sure yet,
okay.
but we can, what, and your name is?
Raquel for Eric.
Raquel, yeah. Eric Fiegel is
Fiegel?
the consumer, yeah.
Okay, good.
And we have Stephanie as our service coordinator, I think Stephanie Culp. So we have a meeting coming up with her actually next week. So that's something we could discuss with her as well. So
Okay, good to know. Stephanie, look at that. Everybody, they're doing circles around here.
okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Let's see. A lot of people, 62 people. That's good. We were worried we wouldn't get anybody. We thought we'd have a party and no one would come. Let's see. Anybody? There's George. Oh, there's James. James is a question. Don't see any questions. Huh? Anybody in the room? Anybody in the room feel compelled to say anything? No, no, not yet.
After maybe.
Jonathan.
Jonathan?
Hey, Tony, I'm back again.
Jonathan is back.
Hey. Yeah, I got another question for you.
Okay.
Have you guys heard anything about the stimulus checks? I mean, what's going on with that situation?
Stimulus checks. Is there more going on with this? I have not. Have you? You? Margaret, have you heard more about it? Doug? No. None of us have heard more about the stimulus checks, but now we're gonna have to look into it.
Yeah, because they're saying that they're coming
They're
out.
gonna do it again?
Yeah, but we haven't You know, I don't know when they were coming.
I don't know, but now we'll have to look. Oh, yeah, I wonder if you're talking about the governor's working with the legislature and some rebate for taxpayers to help with the cost of gasoline. So maybe that's, I haven't seen what the details of the rebate is. It's not just gasoline. I haven't just checked.
Okay, Johnny.
All right, sir, we will find out and
Thank
we'll
you.
have to read it in the health advisory.
Yeah.
When we get
Take
you
care,
the
Johnny.
answer. Okay. Maria Gonzalez. What did that say? She wants to talk about it? Oh.
That fellow VMRC would like.
No, anybody else? Anybody else would like to speak?
What was it, Maria Gonzalez?
Okay. Not seeing any others. We'll have patience.
George is pointing down. I don't know where
George is pointing down. Oh, there, Leo's iPad has got a hand up.
How you doing?
Leo, are you Leo of Leo's
Leo
iPad?
Williams from Gold Strike.
Great, nice to meet you.
How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. Been a long
I'm
day.
out working now, doing a lot of things now
Oh, where are you working?
at the hospice thrift store.
Where are you working at, Leo?
Hospice thrift store in Jackson.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, that's where I got off at today. That's where I've been today.
okay. And what do you do?
I hang up a lot of clothes and I do a lot of things. And
Okay, good. Did you get any help from the regional center to get your job or?
Robin trying to get me to trying to help me to get to Mission Springs this year for summer camp.
Oh, that'd be good. Okay,
Yeah, she working on it, doing that, you know.
okay.
And that's what she's doing, trying to help me get to Mission Springs this year for summer camps.
Okay. Okay, good. Thank you, Leo.
Thank you, buddy. And nice meeting you guys.
Nice meeting you, Leo. That's it. I thought I saw another. Oh, there's a couple. I think George had a hand too. Galaxy. You're gonna be called Galaxy. Oh. Feedback.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, what's your name?
My name is Zachariah David Dooch.
Zachariah David. Okay.
And I work at Jamages in Jackson.
Oh, that's great. What's a Java Juice and how'd you get that job?
I've been there 5-year service.
Okay. How long have you been there?
5 years.
5 years. Okay, nice. That's good. That's good.
And how long you guys been at your job?
I have been at my job for 5 years. So
Is Stephanie in?
What's that?
Is Stephanie in? Can I say hi to Stephanie?
Is Stephanie in?
Yeah.
No, it's after 5. It's 5:41. Most people went home. What's your service coordinator's name?
Stephanie Colts.
Colts.
She's popular, yeah.
Oh, okay. Is she good?
She's my caseworker.
Okay.
Yeah, I work at Jamages. I've been at my job for a 5-year service.
Very good. Thank you. Thanks for letting us
Can you
know.
leave a note for Stephanie? Have her call me.
All right. Yep.
I guess we get that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's see, I thought we saw George. Did George disappear? He's moved around. There he is.
David Dutch.
There's George.
Hey, no, I didn't have a question. I was just pointing to the gentleman down below that had a question, but a great presentation tonight, everyone. Thank you for allowing SCDD to be here.
Okay, thanks, George.
Yep.
Anybody else? Anybody in the room? Anybody moved by the Spirit?
Minute.
She's got another idea. Annette?
Hi, I just want to say, I also has a job too. I
Oh,
work at PCS,
PCS,
janitorial.
janitorial. Oh, do you make a lot of money?
Huh?
Make good money?
I think I make,
Pretty good.
I think it's $15 an hour.
Oh, that's good.
I think, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Anyway, I gotta sign off now because we're gonna go for a
Okay,
walk.
Annette,
So,
I appreciate it. So you go to PCS and you got a job.
uh-huh,
Good job.
okay, bye.
Bye.
George.
PCS is person-centered services. Right, really.
My brother doesn't speak.
My brother doesn't speak. I want to know what program is recommended for him
Who was that?
and to be able to find a job that fits. Okay. Can you find them and see if we can talk to them? Sylvie Vega. So the question is a sibling, the person has a sibling, brother that doesn't speak and would like to get a job. And so what do you do? What's out there? And so definitely we need to connect you with their service coordinator and have that conversation about those are the goals. And then remember I mentioned that employment specialist that we have, then he can be very helpful as well in helping sort of problem solve and think about what kind of jobs that are out there. He knows all the job openings that are out there. So he may be able to help your service coordinator as well. And that would be the route. So I'm not sure if you guys have been talking about employment, having a job in the IPP, but if you haven't, then definitely we want to do that.
Yes, we just got the paper through the mail. That's why we joined. We're new to all this because he just ended up, he finished school on December, and they give him a person to work with him, and they're the ones that recommended us to this program to see if he could find like a help because he doesn't speak at all, so everything's like difficult for him, like to communicate and all. And they told us that he could probably follow up since he's already over age, like for you guys, where you guys help him to find like a job and help him be independent and all that. And they just told me that there would be different programs. Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, definitely we'll have an IPP meeting, so that's what we'll talk about, the goals and streams, what you might like. But then we have an upcoming transition fair. What's the date to the?
What county?
What county are you in?
From Stanislaus.
Oh, okay.
It's April 29th.
April 29th. Okay, and do you, if you get our, we have a weekly newsletter that we put out, and hopefully you get that. It's called the Health Advisory. And we have the flyers for the three of the transition fairs, right, Doug? There was 3 of them there this week. So we got the flyers that describe what they are, and the transition fair is for people who are leaving high school and going into the adult world, and shows all of the different types of providers, the different types of services that are available to people who are leaving the high school years and into their adult years. So that would be, we really suggest that as a good resource for you.
Okay,
You will learn a lot about what's out there for you.
okay, sounds good then.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Can we share this real quick?
George Lewis has a comment?
Want me to share this real quick so they can look at it?
Sure. Right, George. We want to show you guys one of the flyers here. This is what we were talking about, the transition fair. And this one is in person, right?
Yes.
They're all?
It's really
cool, so I highly recommend it.
Oh, I just heard from a teacher in the room. And the teacher says that it is highly recommended. Your students like it?
Yes, my students love it, and I give the flyers to my family.
You hear that? She gives the flyers to her families, her students love it. So this is the
Okay.
one in Modesto. And there's a little information in there. Again, our health advisory has this, and you can download it and or just take down the phone number and ask more questions. Make sure you or just show up, right? And they just show up. They could just show up 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock, Friday, April 29th in Modesto. And then there's another one for Stockton. There's going to be 3 for the mountain counties. Is that right? Yes. Yes, 3. All of them. Anybody?
Yeah.
Yes, all 3. Okay, one is one scheduled for Calaveras County, and the other haven't been scheduled yet. Tuolumne and Namanor. Okay. Good.
Okay.
There you go. All right. All right. We got George.
George?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go, George.
There we go. Yeah, I had a question. Hi, you guys may have mentioned it in the PowerPoint slide, but once all the information is collected through these public meetings and the focus groups, how is it being used, and is it being disseminated to all of the service coordinators, all the feedback? How's it being used?
Oh, that's a really good question. So we're definitely going to be sharing with our internally, but we do a report. The formal is that we package this, we put a report together, let the department know what we did, and we let the department know what we heard from our community, some ideas that we might want to try, and we package that up and get that out to the department. And then all the regional centers are doing the same thing, and so all of that is meant to inform the state on how things are going, the opinions of the community, and then maybe there are some ideas in there that they may also want to put forward as policy. So that's on one level, highest level, right, of what this is supposed to do. And then internally, we would use the information and we sort of make adjustments. When Gabby was talking about all the different things that we're doing, we came up with these ideas not just on our own. We came up with these ideas because of these meetings. And so we try to implement some of the ideas that come through that we hear from you. So that's how that works. Okay. Thanks, George. I'm glad you mentioned that. You asked that question. We got about 10 more minutes. Anybody in the room want to give any more? Being moved by the spirit? No, not yet. Not yet. 10 minutes.
Hey, Tony, back again.
Jonathan.
Yeah. I just want to make a comment for you and for George. How you doing, George? Hey. The comment I want to tell you, Tony, is that, what's the comment, but over at Marbella here in Valley Springs, I've been there for 8 months, been working since July 1st.
8 months?
8 months going on almost a year. Here coming up pretty soon.
That's the job?
Yeah, that's what I'm working at right now.
Yeah, I read about that in the health advisory.
Yeah.
And I was very
And
impressed.
another thing too, they're saying that with the job coach I'm getting with Alicia and stuff, she said that within a year that when it gets to a year or something, they're gonna go ahead and graduate from me from not having a job coach with them anymore.
Okay. So your service coordinator helped you connect with one of our local providers, right? And you got a job coach.
Well, I did the job thing. After.
Where you get that job coach from?
Well, Joe that works in Amador County, I actually did the job. I found the job online and did it myself without any help.
That's great. So you found it yourself and you have a job coach to help you?
Yeah, like after I got started on doing that job.
And where does that job coach
once in a
work?
while to see how I'm doing. So.
Do you know where the job coach works?
Yeah.
For a company?
Yeah, they enjoy it, you know.
Oh. Does anybody know where the job coach works? Christine?
I don't know where it's from.
Oh.
I think the art.
Does the job coach work at the Arc? Jonathan?
Yeah.
You does? The job coach works at the Arc?
Yeah, well, they do it over the Arc, and then they go out to different job sites and help consumers that have a job and stuff. So that's why they.
Yeah, I just wanted to check because everything's an educational moment here, and so that means that the regional center service coordinator connected with you and one of the local providers and helped you to maintain this job that you found yourself, but they're helping you to make sure that you're successful.
Yep, and I'm being successful doing it for 8 months. So,
that's a great testimony about how your service coordinator helped you get that job.
Yeah. And hey, George, check out that health advisory when you get a chance, man. It's pretty cool. I'm in that.
Okay. Gotta read the health advisory, everybody. Nobody else? Okay. Looks like we have Galaxy. We got his name already.
Galaxy, Zachary?
Zachary.
Where's
on the bottom?
Yeah, Zachary.
Zachary.
I go to Arc of Amador.
Oh, you're from the Arc of Amador. You get services from the Arc of Amador? Okay, good.
Yeah, because my job coach's name is Joe.
And you have a job coach named Joe.
Yeah. Joe is the one that helped me get the job, and he also talked to my boss at Expenditures.
Okay, very good. That's good to know.
And then they do training at Expenditures, and then they also do they teach you everything that they do too.
Okay, good, good. You know, oftentimes we hear from people that say that they don't know what services are provided at the regional center. So I think these have been really good, been good testimony to let those folks know that they don't realize that, like you're saying, Zachary, about the job coach who helped you get this job and helped you be successful. So that's another important service that maybe some people are not aware of.
Yeah.
Many people know.
Yeah, the job coach is part of like the Arc of Amador is Arc of Amador too.
Okay, good, good. Thank you. Anybody else?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for that.
Have a nice day.
You too. Oh my God, a lot of people working jobs.
I'm working.
Yeah, I'm working. If I get certain other people running to work. So that's my jokes. Okay. Did we make it to the hour?
4 more minutes.
4 more minutes. We could end early if anybody needed to. Did anybody want to say anything? Anybody? No, no, no pressure.
I want to say thank you to everybody that participated, because it's really hard to speak your piece sometimes. And everybody that had a voice tonight, thank you so very much. And we are listening. We are truly, honestly listening to everything you have to say. Thank you.
Were you guys able to hear that? No? Okay.
Yeah, I got a teacher voice. They can always.
That's a teacher for you. She's sensitive to people who are hard of hearing. And we're gonna be doing a lot of more work around here to be more accommodating to people who are deaf and hard of hearing. We got some new services coming forward in the near future. We're really excited about a new person starting with us. Is he starting on Friday? I'm looking around. I need a lifeline. So he's starting this
Yes.
any day now.
Oh, that's great news.
So we'll, oh, really? So that will
She
be,
wears bylaw hearing. aids.
okay, good.
So,
Well, he
I
did
mean,
talk.
that would help.
Good, good. Her comment was that her
But she
family
has
member,
I'm
is she hard of hearing or is she
Yes,
sorry?
she,
Hard of hearing?
yes, very.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm happy to hear that.
Good, good. I'm excited. We're going to learn a lot about, you know, we talk about all the ethnicities and we're trying to see how to be more accommodating and more interesting really to all the different groups, but also how do we reach out to the deaf and hard of hearing community and speak and communicate to them in a way that's going to be helpful. So we'll be learning a lot. Hopefully they'll be patient with us too as we all move forward together. All right, everybody. Did you want to close this out? Gabby?
You can
No?
close it.
You don't want to close this out? No Indian song or anything?
You're
Doug
good.
likes to sing. Doug does Sinatra. We don't have time for the full song. All right. Well, then I appreciate the time that everybody gave us tonight and all the comments, and we will follow up on those few that we have. And again, thank you, everybody, for your time and have a great evening. Thank you. Bye.